I said that I'd asked a few people about you, and all they did was speak highly. But what they do want to know is whatever happened to Wocket Woy and the Pwoducer.
Wocket Woy, yeah, we've done it for...
And tell us about Wocket
Yeah, so
Woy.
it all started really at Sheena's. We was riding out one morning, me and Mark was riding out, and we rode these two horses, and this one horse, the grey horse, Wocket Woy, as we called him then, he was quite a keen going sort, quite keen. But a certain part of the gallop, we used to hack across, and he used to switch off. He was very easy. Anyone could have rode him. And I said to Mark, I reckon I could do this bit with no hands. He's like, really? I went, yeah. I said, he's that quiet. I reckon I could just throw the reins at him. And so she said, go on then. So off we went, took my hands off. So then just mucked around and then sort of started going like this, put my hands behind the back. So then we'd done that and he filmed it. It was quite funny. And then the things with Sheena horses, well, they knew their gallops. They were very good. They would go in a straight line and they stayed there. So I said, you know what, I think I don't recommend this to anyone trying this. Don't try this at home. So we jumped off up the gallop, went a good gallop. I just took my hands off the rein and started putting my hands behind the back. And then started talking. I don't know why we started. I think we was talking about, do you remember Only Fools and Horses?
Yes.
When Del hired the singer, Tony Angelino, to sing all the songs.
Yeah.
And the Green Grass of... So that sprung into our mind. So all of a sudden, Wocket Woy became Wocket Woy. Posted a few videos, and then, as they say, the rest is history. It just took off. We was making videos every week. We was making appearances. So it went well for 5 years, but then it got difficult, especially because at that time I was fully into racing then. So me and Mark were seeing a lot of each other, and we just could fit it in riding out, and so it all fitted in. But then obviously I'm a lot older than Mark, so my career started. I don't think my career ever started, but my career started sort of winding down. So I obviously had a part-time job, so it was difficult finding time to do the days and get the videos and getting them turned around that quick. So we made a decision to say, look, I don't think we can give it 100% anymore, and we didn't want it to sort of people to go, oh, this is getting boring. So hopefully we stopped it. And listen, I'd never say never. I see a lot of people now, and they wish they'd still like to see some more, come back. I'm gonna stop talking because there's a motorbike coming. Come on, George. So, yeah, I mean, if time sort of, if I got back and got time to do it, it may reappear someday. But I didn't want it to sort of get diluted and people go, oh, it's got boring anymore. So we consciously sort of just said, right, we done our last one on Christmas 2019, I think. And so, yeah, but never say never.
And today you're entertaining guests up in the corporate, in the boxes?
Up in the restaurant, yeah. I just talked through the card, and I'm surprised they've had me back, to be honest, because I didn't tip one winner yesterday. I was here the last meeting, there was an evening meeting, and the English rugby team was here. And thank God I tipped them 4 winners. I was like, the size of them, I think they would have chucked me off the balcony, but lucky enough I gave them 4 winners. So yeah, sometimes I do okay, but yesterday was horrendous.
They mentioned at the beginning that you've had a hip replacement not long ago. Was that a legacy of horse riding?
I don't know. I know Richard Johnson's had one. I think if you look back, I used to play a lot of football, a lot of squash.
Very good footballer, I'm told.
I'm okay. Got my first game tonight, back from the injury. I'm okay, yeah. I'm like a little Jack Russell, I gnash away at people's ankles.
And how did you fare during your career for injury?
Do you know what? Looking back, I count myself very lucky. I've got a few bits of metal in my arm, broken ribs, broken arms, broke my neck. Yeah, if I look at others.
Just rose off the tongue, broke my neck.
Yeah, I look at others and they had probably more worse deals than I did. The injuries I did have, I count myself lucky than most. But yeah, the hip, probably a combination of riding. I probably never, if you look back, most people have one leg longer than the other, and my left leg was probably always slightly longer, so that probably took the brunt of everything. and it always seemed to damage stuff on my left-hand side, whether I was sort of leaning that way anyway. So yeah, it could have been a combination of that. There was just the cartilage had gone. It was just bone on bone. So I had to get it done. And very great. I mean, I'm 47 now, and for a 47-year-old to get a hip replacement, no, I'm not knocking the NHS because they've been brilliant to me over the years with all my other operations. But 47-year-old, I'd still be waiting now for a long time. So lucky enough for me, the Injured Jockey Fund stepped in and helped me get the operation early. So yeah.
And is your golfing resumed?
Golfing's resumed. Yeah. I'm back on the golf course.
Bit of a hustler on the golf as well, apparently.
Yeah, when I'm playing well, I'm okay.
Now, one of the apart from people that would have seen you on your circuit, you're a familiar face for the, is it Racing Welfare you were advertising when you were doing about new people coming into the sport?
Yeah, it was up at Aintree and up at Cheltenham.
But in the adverts on the telly.
Oh yeah, just trying to get young people in there. Yeah, we filmed that up at Noel Williamson's yard, and they just approached me, and hopefully I sort of seemed approachable and shared my passion for racing, and hopefully it's done good. Because as I say, I think nothing in life's easy. If you want a good job, if you want a good career, at any stage you have to work at that. Whether you have to work at what you do. I'm not saying racing's easy to get into. It's probably up there with one of the hardest jobs, with the times that you get up, and I mean it's changed a hell of a lot now for the good. I think now we used to work every other weekend. I think now you can work 1 in 3. It's, to me, the lad and the lasses that work in the yard, they do the hard work. As a jockey, it's very easy for us. You ride out in the morning, you turn up, you come to the races, you go home. Yes, the driving's all there, but listen, the lads and the lasses in the mornings, they're the unsung heroes, really. They're there every morning, every day, and seeing how they're looking after the horses, and then giving you the information when you get on these horses. Look, if you do this with him or her, it'd be better for you. And their knowledge that they give you is invaluable. So it's one big mechanism that works if you work with the people within it. And I'm biased, but it's been great for me, because for 20 odd years it's felt like I've just done something I've loved for a job.
And is it something that you would recommend your kids to do if they wanted to become either a stable person or even try and be a jockey?
Yeah, I've got a daughter now who's 14. I can safely say that she doesn't want to be a jockey. She rides, she's got a pony. She rides well, better than me, but that wouldn't be too hard. But yeah, she just doesn't. Her mum has never had not a racing background, so I'd probably lie and say if I wasn't disappointed she was going to go down the jockey route, because it's a very, very hard sport to make a living out and get into. If she wanted to be a jockey, I'd be 110% behind her. But at 14 now, I think that ship has sailed, because I think she would have been shown a lot more interest now than she has done. But yeah, whatever she does or wants to be, and I'll be behind her. If she wants to be a jockey now, I'll do my best to try and support her, but I don't think she'll go down that route.
It's interesting that you say that your wife's not from a racing background. Does it make things a bit easier if you're not 100% immersed in racing? So when you go home, it's not all about racing still. Does that help?
Yeah, she's only my partner, she's not my wife. I'm still looking for my wife, so I'm not found her yet.
There's me jump into assumptions.
No, yeah, it does, I think it gives you come back in, if you've had a bad day, if you've given one a bad ride. But that was a prime example. Like, I was at Cheltenham when Coney Gree won the Gold Cup. I work there all week, and I normally watch the Gold Cup and go home. And it had rained all morning, and it was just falling right for Coney Gree. Everything was falling right for Coney Gree. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I think he can win. I think he can win. I'd rather not be here in that situation, because people would see in your face, you would be visibly upset, because it's a Gold Cup at the end of the day. And what I said earlier, it doesn't matter, because I was never going to ride him in a Gold Cup anyway. But I thought I'd just take myself out of that equation. I'll go home early, listen to it on the radio. So driving home, listening to Gold Cup, anyway, he's won. So then people sort of on eggshells then. So, oh, what's Batch gonna think? But do you know what? I drove home that night. I got in. I think my daughter was only like 6 maybe then, and she hadn't seen her dad for 5 days. She ran up to me. She couldn't give a monkey's who'd won the Gold Cup. She just ran up shouting, "Daddy, Daddy," arms out. And then I thought, you know what? That's what it's all about. That's what my life's all about now. She doesn't care who's won the Gold Cup. All she's pleased is to see her dad, and just put things in perspective. So it helped in that sense. And say my partner, she probably didn't even watch the Gold Cup. She probably didn't even know who won the Gold Cup that day. She only because I came home and she said who won. But it's I think it's good because you can go from racing, come home, and they're not really. They are interested in what you've done, but they're not really interested in racing. It's not changing their lot. She had a job, and so yeah, it was good to come back and have sort of like a neutral opinion.
And finally, Mattie, you said already explained you do the sales job and you with the building and stuff like that, and also you're doing this horse racing. It's been your life since you were 15, so 30 odd years. Is this just a time now where you're weighing up your options, or do you think you know which direction you're going to go into for the rest of your career? Is it going to be racing?
I think I'd love, obviously, a sales job and I'll help my mate out, but at the end of the day, I've got bills to pay, and like I do get a bit from racing, like the talks and that. My ideal scenario is if I could make a living out of coming racing, talking to people, telling stories. I mean, there's probably people out there that don't want to hear my stories, but I think I've got a good story to tell. I think I'm a good storyteller, and I think I'd serve the sport quite well. So yeah, I'd love to be that in my future. But listen, if it's not, if people don't think my face is right, or I'm not, okay, I'm from Brighton, I don't probably speak the best, then that's fair enough. I'll carry on doing what I'm doing. I'll make a living, and I will keep providing for my family. I'll go out there. My dad's been a grafter. I've been brought up to graft, so that's what I do, Simon. And it doesn't bother me, as long as my bills are paid at the end of the month. I'm happy. My family are happy. That means more to me than anything.
Brilliant. Well, Mattie Batchelor, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.